In God we trust. In God we trust. These are the famous words. They come into prominence recently in America, particularly in Texas state, where the Texas Assembly have passed that in all the schools, the words "in God we trust" should be displayed with prominent signs. It should be displayed with prominent signs all over the schools. And to this I say, it's not a bad thing to have faith in God. It's a wonderful thing. The problem arises when you have blind faith. And words like "in God we trust" is good, because look at the violence, the scale of violence and death we see in the American schools. All this couldn't be avoided. People have increasingly become modernized with the mobile phone, which is a mainstay, and the laptops and the artificial intelligence. This dominates children's mind, and they're losing touch with reality of human beings, the contact, the emotions, the feelings of the real human beings, who are more important than the man-made artificial intelligent machines. So all of America do not accept that, even though it's accepted everywhere. And it's certainly one of the early American founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin, who was instrumental in bringing some of the spiritual side of life to the American life. He was spiritual, he was a scientist, he was a politician. He was the only American to sign all 4 American legal documents: independence, constitution, and so on, which French agreements as well, bringing peace between Britain and America. So, and he discovered many beautiful scientific things as well. But one of the things was, in God we trust, because he had firm faith in God. He believed in that God. He didn't accept any particular denomination, but he had that faith. And he was also a printer in Philadelphia. And he, I think, was also instrumental in printing the American dollar bills and including the words "in God we trust." In addition, he was also instrumental in including the pyramid, the eye of the pyramid. The world doesn't know what that stands for. But Benjamin Franklin knew, but he had lost the fine details knowledge of that over passage of time. And I've discovered that, and I'm including that in my book, Journey in Search of Original God, about the significance of what the eye of the pyramid stands for. And it's a wonderful thing that American dollars have included that, except they should acquire the complete knowledge. Now, creator versus God. This is a famous duality at the moment. The world doesn't know who the creator is, and science doesn't believe in either creator or God. Religion plays host to God, but even they themselves don't know God. So what is the difference between the two? How many people in the world know the difference between creator and God? I have met creator and I have met God. I can tell you with scientific details what the difference is in the structure. It took me 14 years to find creator. I also found God in my 18th year. I wrote about it, God as well, in a separate book. And now in my 30th year, where I'm revealing many beautiful scientific mysteries of our universe, origin of life, and so on. It is creator who had made God at the inception of the universe. So creator is the only God. The trouble is, people think God is the creator. There is a slight variance here. The structure of creator is different from the structure of God. And it is creator who controls everything in the universe. Creator knew that the entire worldly religion would do everything to cover up the creator's name. So it retains the complete control of everything in the universe, everything on earth, and everything with human lives and human beings and their origin. I've seen God, and this is what God looks like. And you can see God shining that in the quantum universe. Now, this is part of the beautiful intelligent design. Human beings have lost that contact with God. They've lost contact with Creator. But this is what God looks like. And you need knowledge of quantum science to see God, to appreciate what God looks like. If you want to communicate with God, you need that knowledge of quantum science. You also need knowledge inside human brain of the third eye and the pineal gland. Well, these are more advanced topics, but again, I have fully discovered that and written about them in my various books. If you want to see Creator is the seventh eye. You need the seventh eye open. People only think about two eyes. They don't realize there's so many varieties of detailed eyes which are hidden inside human consciousness. This is part of intelligent design, which Creator had made everything in the universe, including human beings and the origin of life. Unfortunately, what has happened is evolution has taken a front stage for the last almost 200 years, ever since Darwin's Origin of Species in 1859 in London. So people know about that, but people don't know about intelligent design. And this is very important as well. Why? Because the deeper science of intelligent design has disappeared, the knowledge of it, as the result of which the two are at loggerheads in American science schools. So Darwin's approach was the universe was designed without a designer. And my approach is the universe is designed by an intelligent designer. And I've got scientific proof to reveal that. There are many, many evidence I have in my new theory, MC theory on origin of life, where I'm revealing that beautiful mystery, which has nothing to do with religion at all. The Creator is completely scientific, not a word about religious or paraphernalia or symbolic worship of religious terms. This is part of the intelligent design which Creator had made in placing God right at the beginning of the universe. And then with the intelligent design, how life takes shape on Earth via the medium of quantum light and quantum code, which are part of human consciousness. There's a lot more detailed knowledge, which I'm covering separately. This forms what I call part of the fifth dimension. This is not ordinary visible. You can't see that with your two eyes. You need to elevate your vibrations so that they're much higher vibrations, and you can need to open your third eye as well. Then it opens up new possibilities, hidden knowledge, hidden dimensions of life and reality, which are completely tucked in. The human physical body is the biggest impediment to see the finest divine mysteries of our life and universe. You need to think without being a physical human being. Then you're getting into the right path, the right area. But that's not easy, because everybody has been ingrained with this physical cage, and you become caged in it. And they forget that you need to forget about the cage and worry about that universe is designed on consciousness. You're a live entity. In America, the American Supreme Court case of 1987 and Dover Court case of 2005 played a limitation that stopped the introduction of subject of intelligent design to be introduced in science schools. This, they had construed, was an attempt to introduce religion through the back door and the introduction of supernatural power, which should not be allowed in science. What neither of those two learned judgments know about was that in those days when they had delivered this judgment, they didn't have a proper detailed knowledge, which I have discovered with my MC theory of consciousness. This MC theory, which is both theory and practical, and is completely scientific in nature, and is new knowledge, which I've discovered in my epic journey, which is now stretching 30 years. Both the respectful judgments can be set aside. The subject of intelligent design can be taught parallel with the theory of evolution. Do not forget, evolution theory is also partly incomplete. There are many flaws in it. Darwin didn't know who the last common ancestor was. I'm revealing all of that, but the more important thing is science subjects the question of intelligent design with my new knowledge should be taught and made available, which will elevate the standard and creativity of the students to even higher level. There are three trees of life. One is the standard particle model. The second is the Darwinian branching tree of evolution. And third is the religious tree. To remember, with my intelligent design, I'm not touching third tree at all, which is a separate knowledge altogether. I'm purely touching from the standard particle model and discovering the secrets of the first tree, which is completely hidden by the grand designer or the creator. Science versus religion. The two are at loggerheads because religion wants the subject of God to be brought into classroom, and American Constitution doesn't allow that. It likes separation between church and state, and it doesn't want the subject of supernatural power to be brought into classrooms in the science subjects. This resulted in famous Dover case in 2005, where science teachers revolted against the introduction of Penda's People book on intelligent design to be taught, as the board members felt that the theory of evolution was incomplete and there was scope to introduce intelligent design. And I would hasten to add, in 2005, they didn't have the detailed knowledge, but now I have the complete MC theory of everything, which is an intelligent design theory, as well as practical theory as well as practical, and both can be tested by anyone. So my MC theory is a new theory and origin of life. It's completely scientific. It can be tested by anyone, and it is made by the grand designer of the universe, the creator. These two beautiful pictures side by side reveal the entire mystery of creator and God. Even the structure of God is completely scientific. It's just nothing to do with religion. Religion comes much lower down on the right side of the image. Creator is that finest light which is present in the universe, but it's completely hidden. It's completely hidden, it's present in our universe, and nobody thinks about its presence at all until they can't breathe air, which is what happened with COVID recently, when people started asking some pertinent question that the control of life is somebody else or something else. So it is my scientific discovery which I propose to introduce and explain as new knowledge on intelligent design, which satisfies the American Constitution and Amendment 1 clause, and it doesn't impinge or affect in any way on religion at all, because it's nothing to do with religion. This is completely new knowledge which I am revealing in my epic journey.